Hello and welcome, my name is dragondrop and this is the joinDOTALEAGUE. We're in the starter division of the UK, subgroup number 4 it is. And it's the match between the Snotbagz and the True Ballers. Snotbagz sitting at 4 and 6 right now, tied for 6th place in the standings. And True Ballers is sitting just below them with 3 and 7. Snotbagz 4 and 6, yeah, I think I said that. Alright. Let's jump right into the draft. Snotbagz starting off once again. Move the Timberthor. The man and zero for the offline, one would imagine. And True Ballers going out strong already with the Storm Spirit for the mid, and more importantly the Pugna. Might be a support Pugna, but more likely with the Storm Spirit picked up. Yeah, it's more likely that he will be the carry Pugna in this lineup, as Storm Spirit will probably want to go mid, but they might switch that around. So we have seen safe lane Storms in the past.
10 seconds to go.
And Pugna is a safe lane. It's really much easier for them, for him to go into the offlane tower of the other team and just spam out these nether blasts and whittle it down over time than it is. Yeah, it's easier for him on the safe lane because they can control the creep equilibrium a little bit better than Pugna could do in the mid lane without something like an Earthshaker. Snotbagz picking up the Alchemist, very strong support. Not as strong as he once was since the Concoction nerf. You basically need to time it really well if you want to have the full damage and stun duration. But apart from that, the S.4 is still a very nice AoE minus armor that dissuades people from engaging into you. Grievous Greed allows him to transition into a carry or semi-carry later on, and his ultimate, the Chemical Rage, allows him to stay alive more than you would support to expect once he hits level 6. So he can tank up a lot of that Storm Spirit damage. Now we see a couple of bans coming out.
Radiance ban.
Darkseer and Marana for the Snotbagz. It's really standard opening bans from them. They really don't like playing up against these heroes, it seems. And also banning out the Clockwork, another strong offlaner.
10 seconds to go.
We'll see where they want to go from here.
5 seconds.
I mean, they have a solid offlaner already. They might need to pick up something like a Puck for the mid lane to match up well against that Storm Spirit. Then they need something to keep that Pugna in check. A hero that can basically walk up to him and harass him out of lane. For example, like Lich as a secondary support if you want to put him into the offlane, maybe with another hero like a Nyx Assassin. But with Lifestealer pickup, True Ballers has a whole world of opportunity open to them. Storm Spirit and Lifestealer already together in one team, which means Lifestealer bombs inside the Storm Spirit are available. They might want to pick up a Nyx Assassin of their own, because Nyx Assassin is another hero that synergizes really well with Lifestealer, but Snotbagz recognizing that, picking that up. Now, there's basically two kinds of heroes that synergize with the Lifestealer infest in terms of initiation. One type is the jump-in kind, like the Storm Spirit, that either have a skill like the Ball Lightning or naturally build a Blink Dagger to get them into the fights where Lifestealer can pop out. And the other kind is Invis heroes, such as Nyx Assassin, who has an Invis. Other heroes would be Bounty Hunter, maybe a Klinks, stuff like that. But since they already have Storm Spirit, and they already have all their 3 cores, unless they want to run the Pugna in a support position, they're gonna be looking for some more supporting casts. And that Venomancer
Radiance pick.
gonna provide a lot of lane control. But Snotbagz hasn't shown the lane yet. Oh yeah, there's the Bane.
Dyer's ban.
Yeah, they're probably gonna run the Nyx Assassin as a support. Not the worst, not the best, but with the Bane being able to set up the Nyx Assassin impales, it can be quite deadly if a Venomancer gets caught out of position. or whoever they want to
Radiant's
put down
ban.
in the offlane for true ballers, since I would imagine this would be a defensive tri lane. It could go offensive, however, depending on what kind of carry hero Snotbagz you want to pick up.
Dyer's pick.
Then you have to deal with the Venomancer and the constant harass coming out. Then again, with the Venomancer and Lifestealer plus 1 strong support, they might go aggressive on their own and put the partner in the safe lane. Yeah. Just gonna have to wait and see, I suppose.
10 seconds to go.
10 seconds, but a lot of reserve time still available for the true ballers. So they're gonna have some time to think about what they want to do.
Reserve
I would
time.
imagine this would be carry Pugna, but as it stands now, okay, Beastmaster. Yeah, it's gonna be support Pugna. Okay. Support Pugna, Stormspirit in mid, Beastmaster in the off lane, and defensive tri lane with the Lifestealer on top. Snotbagz. They can go aggressive with the Bane Nyx, as I said. What am I talking about? Yeah. Well, I'm assuming the Alchemist goes mid here, and they run the Nyx as a support. They might run the Nyx mid, they might run the Timbersaw mid, they might run the Nyx off lane. Who the hell knows at this point? Alchemist and Nyx, and even Timbersaw, very versatile heroes in terms of what they can do. Both Timber and Nyx can be supports. Both Timber and Alchemist, and even Nyx to some degree against certain heroes, can go up in mid. Probably not against the Storm Spirit. But Snotbagz have their option open for all their options open for them. So I'm a little bit confused as to what they want to do. Right now the problem is that they don't have physical damage unless they want to run an Alchemist in a full-on carry position. But with the Alchemist skill set, it's almost a waste because his stun is really potent still. So they might want to pick up carry like a Juggernaut maybe. They want to be a little bit more mid-game centric, or they could go something like a Faceless Void, or Luna is even still in the pool, Gyrocopter, all these hard carries that give them a lot of late game. Ten seconds time, and the Phantom Lancer, yeah, one of those examples. Phantom Lancer takes some time to get really online and do the damage that he wants. And that's not just late game carry, it's also a lot of split push coming out of him alone once he gets his items and his levels. So we often see Phantom Lancers just creating an army of illusions, pushing the lane out with that, farming your jungle in the meantime, then teleporting to another lane, doing the same thing all over again. So we'll see how that works out for them. Let's take a look at who plays who. On the side of Snotbagz, Scotty's playing the Nyx Assassin, heading to the mid lane. Scotty is the mid player. The man then on the offlane Timbersaw, I was right on that one. Simon on the support Alchemist, Benzet, Phantom Lancer, hard carry in the safe lane, and Katala the captain on the support Bane. On the other side of the river, Vekus on the Storms, or Vekus, couldn't call you Vekus, on the Storm Spirit, heading to mid lane. No surprise there. Sama. You're in Sama. I'm just gonna call him Sama because I don't want to try and pronounce the first part of that. He's heading to the offlane as I expected. Backstrom on the carry Lifestealer. Meliora Infinitum on the support Venomancer. And that leaves Melstrix on the Pugna. No early aggression yet, both teams staying on their side of the rivers. Oh, very nice. Beastmaster just clears out that entire area of trees. So no support can just roam around here on the side to try and gank him up. That'll help him out. But it's a lot of mana investment. Beastmaster can maybe throw out two of these wild axes till he needs to clear it up. I'll go back to base or whatnot. He has a Soul Ring, so that'll help him out in this offlane once he gets that up. And yep, all three of them trying to block Not possible. With the recent changes in where the creeps meet, this bottom lane, or the safe lane I should say, as it's the same on the other side, just moves way faster for the first couple of minutes. So the creeps meet basically much farther away from the tower. So might want to keep an eye on this top lane, but the Manon not going for an early point in the Timber Chain. And against the Venomancer, that harass is gonna come out of him. He wants the reactive armor to be able to have that extra regen coming out of that, but still. The Poison Sting, first level, for the Venomancer is gonna be a pain in the ass for Timbersaw to deal with. Because every time you hit, I mean that's 5 poison damage over time, over 6 seconds, so it's 30 damage per hit. On top of what the normal attack damage is. So, Katana just making sure the Banzard down here in the bottom lane is doing well for himself. He's also throwing out the lances to rest Sama a little bit. While Simon is doing the pulling work. Hasn't put a point into anything yet. Wants to keep his options open. Double damage rune. Oh, Venomancer is holding it for the Storm Spirit, one would imagine.
Double damage.
But he went for the Null Talisman first to get that those extra lava-sitting capabilities, and he's far away from the bottle. Not that far, as he's doing quite okay with his last hits. But yeah, that's one thing that makes a Nyx Assassin a pain in the ass to deal with any intelligence hero up in mid. As we see the Venomancer rotating around, posturing a little bit. But Venom, one of the slowest heroes in the games, 284 base move speed, not able to do much than steal a couple of creeps and scare Cardi away. But yeah, one of the things that makes Nyx Assassin a pain to deal with against intelligence heroes is the mana burn. And we already see him prioritizing that just now, getting his first level into the stun. And just being able to constantly spam that out with being able to bottle crow, and Vika's actually in trouble. He's almost dead. He's 14 life points, and that's gonna be the first blood. Vika's underestimating the power of the Nyx Assassin and the mana burn. It's gonna pay the price in top lane though. Demand and take some damage to Crabify, but it's not gonna be synced up with the Nether Blast. Open wounds gonna be too late, as Timber Chain, already level 2 at this point, was able to get him to safety. So, Venomancer came up behind him, threw out the Venomous Gale, one would imagine. Try and get the Timsaw, but it was just not enough damage. As the partner and the lifesteal were a little bit too far behind to really put on enough pressure. Beastmaster in his bottom lane, getting what he can, which is not a whole lot. He's level 2 compared to the Timbersaw, who's already level 4.5. So, well, to be fair, Beastmaster's almost level 3, but still, it's getting not a whole lot of this bottom lane. As Banzard can constantly keep up the Spirit Land spam if he so chooses, but he's prioritizing the Doppel Walk as an escape mechanism. Does decrease the cooldown a slight bit, but probably more importantly the mana cost. Then, Meliora, guarding a haste rune, and he might find Nyx Assassin. Nope. Finds him, but he's a little bit scared. Cuddy does not have a lot of mana to play with right now. I don't need to bottle crow again. But yeah, even though he can constantly harass the Storm Spirit, and getting a kill on him shouldn't be possible, but Cuddy managed to do it anyway. But as soon as Storm Spirit hits level 6, even that shouldn't be... Cuddy shouldn't be able to repeat that. But yeah, even though Cuddy can constantly spam out, he's also gonna have to deal with the harasses coming out of the Storm Spirit. And he's got an interesting build. Usually you will see Storm Spirits maxing out the Overload, so as to keep the harass and lances going with that extra bit of damage coming from it, and just having 1 point into Remnant and the Vortex. But he looks to be wants to be able to rotate early He's just now got his level 6, so we'll see what he wants to do. But yeah, the 3 levels into Vortex, that's 2 seconds done. Or disable. And catch out the Timbersaw with that, and all the other 3 heroes up in this tri lane on top of him, then even the Timbersaw will not be able to get away from that. But he's going aggressive! And he just blows up the Pugna. The man then sees an opportunity, Timber Chains in, max level, it's pure damage, and that's a lot. And nothing the Pugna that was already low to begin with could deal with. So, 2-0 at the board, and we see a rotation into the mid. Bane going in with the Nightmare. Alchemist done follow up, then the what? Next Assassin's done. A little bit premature. I think if they stacked the stuns a little bit better, then Storm Spirit would have been dead for sure, because the Alchemist had got a full channel off. I mean, on level 2 it's 2.5 seconds, but they basically threw the Impale right after the Concoction hit as well, so... Failed gank, a little bit of miscommunication there. But...
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
True Baller's not able to capitalize in any shape or form. Pugna got his boots, got a couple of GG branches, but that's about it. He's sitting at level 4. Timbersaw actually took a lot of damage from something. Probably life stealing going on him. Or maybe just a constant harass on the Venomancer. But he's doing really well. He's got his arcanes up. Still sitting on an emergency salve, so he doesn't have to leave the lane anytime soon. Unless he chooses to. In the mid lane though, Baker's once again in trouble, but who is the one in trouble? Collie has a double damage, but he's taking a lot of right clicks, and he will pay the price for his overextension. Simon throws out another concoction for good measure, but not able to follow it up with anything.
Top tower's hurting.
So, True Ballers get themselves on the board. Very nice kill. And the Pugna takes it. Sama also got his level 6. But Benzoid, he's getting basically free farm. He's sitting on top of the CS board, 37 last hits. He's got his strats and about 1,000 gold. We'll see what he wants to do, whether he wants to rush a Radiance now, but I wouldn't think so. More common build would be Diffusal, maybe. Radiance is good if you want to go all-out split push, but Diffusal is really good if you want to start fighting early, because you can throw out the Spirit Lance. Oh, engagement, as we engagement mid, Pugna being picked up, and they're gonna go again. Nightmare on the Venomancer, follow-up stun by the Alchemist, and this time this stack it a little bit better. And Katala, with the Brain Stab, will be able to nuke down the Venomancer. So 2 for nil trade. Both supports probably trying to secure the rune on top, taking a fall here. So yeah. Basically, if you build, but he's not going any points to the Juxtapose. That's a little weird to me. I mean, you max up the Spirit Lance. That's a given. I mean, you can, if you get the Diffusal, you can spam out the Spirit Lance and burn mana and do extra damage on the one who hit. And that's really valuable, especially if you are talking about something like a Storm Spirit, who is really dependent on his mana to be able to zip around in these fights. Or even a Pugna or a Beastmaster. As we see, a Vendetta in mid, but the Sentry Ward protecting Vicus from that aggression coming out of the Nyx. And TP's coming out. Melstrix looping around. He wants to get a ward down. Alright. Wardception here. 1 Radiant, 1 Dire Observer ward. Watching any rotations coming from the top. But Trilane's on the bottom, and there's where the rotations are coming from. No smoke popped. Venomancer sees them, yeah. They know what's up, they're just basically staring at each other across the river right now. Nyx picks up a region rune so he can spam out his spells even more liberally. Timbersaw. See what he wants to pick up, if he wants to go into a Bloodstone or something different. He basically got free farm up there as well. Well, not free farm per se, but in terms of levels, he's even higher than the Lifestealer. And there we see how what brings that to the table. He almost nukes the Lifestealer down with Chakram and the Whirling Death. And Backstrom forced to infest that to be able to survive. Storm Spirit, not sure what he does up there. He's enjoying the view, I guess. He's short of mana. He doesn't have any mana. That is unfortunate. As we see, a Nightmare again on Meteora. Concoction stun, Vendetta hits, Impale. Will secure the kill. And Venomancer, who is not getting any levels. I mean, he's sitting at level 4 for quite a while now. And that's not what you want. He hasn't put any points into rewards, so he can't keep up the vision. As we see Lifestealer engaging on the Manon. Should be able to Timber Chain away, but no, he misses it. But Lifestealer,
no breaking through the dire structures.
Not wanting to commit, as he doesn't know what's behind the Timbersaw here. Wise decision, as we see Katala and Simon smoked up. They're looking to get this Lifestealer. He's got the Midas build, so he wants to go late. Benzo actually took a lot of damage on something, but Double Walk was able to get him away. Okay, we see the loop around. Rage is used, but the Fiend's Grip. No fucks were given that day. Simon's stuns himself for some reason, and that'll cost him the kill, most likely. The Manon's going man mode, but with the TP support coming in, that wasn't the best idea. He will pay the price for that.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
And the rest of the Snotbagz retreating to the safety of their own tier 1. Yeah, Benzwood going defusal with 2 blades of Alacrity. And once he got that done, he'll build into a heart most likely. Then they'll be able to fight and put a lot of pressure on whoever they want to do. Yeah, whoever they want basically. Oh, Lifestealer in the back lines. Almost blown up, but he doesn't have a lot of mana, so Storm Spirit in the meantime jumping in, killing the Alchemist, and Cuddy takes a fall as well, as the burst damage was not enough. A little bit of a good counter initiation from the Storm Spirit, but he now doesn't have a whole lot of mana left. The Manon is out for blood. Another Timber Chain should be able to secure the kill, but I'm not going to be able to hit it. Venomancer spends his last mana on the Gale, and Timber Chain out. Chakram to slow them, and barely enough mana for Wild Axes, but it's enough to clean up the Manon. So, horrible trade for the Snotbagz. They lose 3 heroes, get nothing out of it. At least they defend the tower, but that's about all they got from that. And came down to the initiation. I mean, Cardi went up here behind the lines of the rest of the heroes to kill that to kill that Lifestealer, who is low on mana, so the mana burn didn't do as much damage. He almost got him, but then all the heroes were able to turn him on, except for Storm Spirit, who basically went through and got the Alchemist in the backlines. And was able to get out again, as they didn't have the follow-up stun from Cardi, as he was entangled up with the other heroes. So, let's take a look at the gold drops. True Ball is actually taking the lead with about 2,500 gold. Impale's gonna do a lot of damage to Pugna. But the Sentry Ward warning them from the Nyx Assassin, and True Ball is really doing a good job with these wards.
No breaking down
the Nyx gang is not really as successful as they could be. Alright, experience graphs also in favor of Ballers at about 1,500. But the thing is, the Phantom Lancer hasn't been joining the fights at all. He almost, got this with Diffusal Blade. He basically just needs to have it chipped out. Gal's gonna miss. Mana wasted. So, once Phantom Lancer, who's at absolute free farm with 85 CS, like 50 minutes in. Once he starts joining the fights with this diffusal blade, he's gonna start wrecking things.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
I still don't agree with that build though. I mean, double walk is nice, but if you want to fight, you really want to have Phantom Edge and Juxtapose, so your illusions can start multiplying. We'll see how that works out. Maybe they just want to hang back and defend against the Pugna until the Phantom Lancer hits level 11 or 15, or basically gets his levels up into his passives. And, well, they have been successful so far. If you look at all the health points of the towers, you'll see that none of them are really low. And if you have a Pugna on the opposite team, it's basically half the game right there. Half the early game at the very least, because Pugna falls off. If he isn't able to use Nether Blast to his advantage to get early towers down and create a significant gold lead from that point on, then yeah, the Pugna doesn't give you too much more, unless you run him as a carry, and they're obviously not doing that. I mean, Nether Ward's always going to be great, and the Nether Blast will always going to be great against towers, but at one point... Oh, Katala being spotted out in the sidelines. The Manon, open wounds wasted, but lifesteal is out for blood. The Manon, though, being saved by Melstrix, who's in range of the tower, gets stunned up by Simon. Chakram will be able to secure the kill. So a little bit of misplay there. Lifesteal was diving in, and just when he got there, Melstrix basically decrepified the Manon. So Lifesteal couldn't do anything. A little bit weird decision, but they get the Pugna, they defend the tower once again. No damage was done to this tier 1.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Nether Blast is always going to work against towers, but at some point, if you're not in the lead, you're not going to be able to get too many of those without giving up trades at the very least.
The Dire best do something.
And Snotbagz are doing a good job keeping up at the very least. And now take the first one tower of the game. Beakers and Meloria trying to split push, and now the Pugna is going in, doing what he does. It's too late. It's 17, 18 minutes in. And at that point, Cody can just TP in, go man mode, kill the Venomonster, who gets his ulti off on him and Benzwood, it seems. Yeah. But at this point, they can just disengage, as they have the rest of the team to fall back on.
Double damage.
So yeah, that Pugna pick not really working out for the true ballers right now. But we do see some pressure
taking hits
being applied right now. Simon got himself double damage and will be able to pick up a little bit of farm up here. He's went face boots. Might be looking for medallion next. Yeah, face boots, a nice item on the Alchemist. Basically ensures that you can stay on top of heroes for as long as possible, so you can channel up the concoction as long as possible without fearing to lose vision. Beastmaster got his mechanism, that will help him out in the team fights. If they manage to get a full-on 5-on-5 team fight, I mean, right now it's basically pick off, back and forth, and then disengage. And with the way Snotbagz has been playing, or more specifically with the way Benzwood has been playing, with his skill build, right now that's what they want. They want to just nothing more than to create space for Benzwood, so he can farm up the jungle, he can farm up the lanes, pretty much at the same time as he now picked up his Phantom Edge and his Juxtapose. He can start doing that, he can start exploding in farm, get a heart, and then... Oh, Vako's jumping in with the lifesteal inside, the Manon not gonna be long for the world, and the Roar even used. A little bit of an overcommitment there, it wasn't really necessary, but Cody gonna pick up consolation kill, if you will. Venomonster are left behind. Melioria, oh, yeah, he was probably like, team, hey, what the fuck, where are you going? Why don't we push?
Tower could use a hand.
But they didn't push. and he takes the fall for it. I mean, it's Venomancer, it's alright. He still can throw his ulti out and then die in those team fights if necessary. It's not a big deal. It's not really what you draft the hero for to be able to... try again. Don't really draft the hero to be able... for him to be able to survive in team fights. Or even pick-offs, especially against a Nyx Assassin who excels in that kind of things. But now the ballers systematically trying to put up some pressure on each of the tower, but Snotbagz looking to defend. Cardi is right here. But he's being jumped in on. Vendetta gonna be able to keep him alive. And he might want to re-engage, but the sentry ward covering the retreat of the ballers. It's a level 2 Vendetta, so it lasts a little bit longer. And by a little bit, I mean a lot than the level 1 Vendetta. Do much more with it, but probably not gonna find anyone unless Backstrom decides to hang around. He's got his omelet, so he can start locking onto heroes and bring them down easily. If he doesn't get kited. I mean, Bane can control him up, obviously. But if he just manages to find out, catch out the Bane alone, then that won't help him too much. Nyx Assassin, elusive. With the Vendetta. Timbersaw, elusive. Phantom Lancer,
Radiant's bottom tower.
don't even talk about it. Alchemist with face boots. And Lifesteal opting for treads. Also more elusive than you may think. And he is tanky. He can survive through that initial onslaught, I would imagine. With him going for a mag, having the buckler already with the extra armor coming from that and this level 1 ultimate.
Radiant's bottom tower seen
So,
better days.
both teams jockeying for position in this middle lane. I don't know how many sentry walls ballers have placed, but against the Nyx Assassin, you really want and need that to be able to secure yourself. We see smoke up. Simon leading the charge. And don't want to loop all the way around. But the ballers shifting towards the bottom lane. So they're not gonna find anyone. Unless they set their eyes on Backstrom. Who knows something is up. Everyone's missing and he's just gonna TP out. So Snotbagz not able to find anyone up here either. As the whole ballers team is now looking to claim the last tier 1 tower on the side of Snotbagz, which is sitting at reasonably low health. So all I want to see is Benzut, who's just happily farming up. Sitting on 4,100 gold, so it's not gonna be long until he can one-shot buy whatever he damn well pleases. As the tower's gonna go down, so Snotbagz selling for the trade. They don't have too much tower damage, but ballers should be able to contest this. They're all still hanging around, needing to buy TPs. But yeah, they're gonna keep going. Why the hell not? And now we see a reaction coming out. Oh, Phantom Lancer, Benzo looking for a Roche, but they realize they have to defend it here too. They can. Cardi, no sentry wards this time. There's the dust though, they know there's something going on, they find Cardi. Stun stacked a lot, but he will go down. Has that a little bit too late, wanting to wait for Benzut. There's Fiend's Grip onto Backstrom, but Storm Spirit still around. But Simon so tanky with his ultimate. Benzut doing what he can, but he's not, doesn't have a whole lot of mana. So, at the end of the day, 2 down for Snotbagz after the excellent dust.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Cardi just body blocking a little bit too much, it would seem. And they're gonna claim a tier 2 for the troubles as well.
Radiant's bottom tower, and Radiant lost one of them bottom towers.
Yeah, Benzut was a little bit too late, and he is going for the heart. His only recipe away now. About 1,000 gold, give or take. And Borders, they started up late with the lineup, but now they finally get it going. With the Pugna being able to nether blast it down, Lifesteal on the front lines with the Rage, Storm Spirit for secondary DPS, And then the Beastmaster for what he brings to the table, which is the inner base, his summons, of course, the axes, and most importantly the roar to help bring down those single targets. Like a Nyx Assassin, who's been caught out. Did a little bit too long with his initiation. I mean, he was probably looking for a really big impale, but sometimes you're just gonna have to take the 2-hero impale and start initiating. Because you know the enemy team had detection. You had lots of time to check the inventories. And if you don't see the Nyx Assassin anywhere else on the map, and you're pushing in tier 2, then it's a good safe bet that he's in there somewhere around you. Oh, balls. As I said, the lineup, they started executing the lineup a little bit late, but now they're gonna use all what they have. Storms will jump in with the Lycian side, blowing up 2, but Cardi re-engaging, getting the Storm Spirit in return, and getting out of there. Ah, that was not good. Spirit Lands went out onto the Beastmaster, I think, but the Nightmare hit just before that. But yeah, Backstrom, all out of mana. And Sam is in trouble. He's being Fiend Script. And he is down. Cardi is gonna take the fall though, as he does eat the Venomon's ultimate right in the face. Those bands would I mean. Oh, Dice 2-man's gun. But Phantom Lancer just used the lands to CS a little bit, so unable to capitalize on that any further. And yeah,
Dire's bottom tower's getting the
one of the problems with Phantom Lancer, he is still squishy. I mean, he can get out of trouble if he's ganked with double walk, but he can't be in the front lines until he has his heart, and he just now finished it up. So now he can start to really be effective. And Snotbagz will be able to capitalize on that. Those are tanky illusions. And ballers have some way of dealing with that. With all the spam coming out from the Venomon's on the partner, and most notably the Storm Spirit. They can deal with these illusions, but they're always gonna be able to get some damage done. It's usually a safe bet with a heart on a Phantom Lancer. Get a couple of illusions. He might want to go Manta next, so he's got even more illusions. And you can basically just send them to an objective if all else fails. Like, you could just right-click them on a tower and they would do damage. Not a whole lot, but they would do damage. And eventually, you will break the base, unless they initiate into you. And then Cuddy can re-initiate. So, really open game so far, even though the gold graph and the experience graph doesn't tell that story right now. Ballers have a little bit of more map control, as they did take a couple more towers than the Snotbagz right now. But with the Phantom Lancer, all bets are off, really.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
And what do you have to stop Phantom Lancer late game?
Radiant structures must have been.
They're gonna be able to find him. And they're gonna be able to find Cuddy though, he's blown up in the sidelines. Not even able to use his Vendetta there.
Radiant's mid tower's getting the what for?
Yeah. So as long as you keep your tier 3s up, you can basically go as late as you want with the Phantom Lancer, up against a Lifestealer who does fall off eventually, and a Stone Spirit who does fall off eventually, especially if you get an army of illusions right-clicked on him that burns all his mana. So, and let's not forget the Alchemist. He's just not started putting up points into his Grievous Greed. So, if the game goes late, he can start building carry items as well. And the Timbersaw is always going to be nice with this pure damage coming out of the Timber Chain. And heroes like the Buckner will never be truly tanky. Wait a second. Am I tripping?
The Dire couldn't hang on to that mid-tower.
Beastmaster got a mechanism.
What's happening?
Hawknut got a
Somebody's
mechanism
looking
on the same
out.
team. As we see an engagement here on the top, Cuddy being curled up the man and taking a lot of damage, but he will be able to survive. Katala not so lucky. Baker's out for blood. Will be able to pick up the Timber Saw on the backlines.
Top tower.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower.
That's the last other tier 2 tower, so
Dire best do something.
Snotbagz really need to commit a little bit more to defend the tier 3s. Benzo has to do some more work, as the lifesteal is now locked onto him. Does he have double walk? No, he just used it. He's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Where's the support? No support. If the Bane was there with the Fiend Scope, that wouldn't have happened.
Top tower's taking hits.
But yeah, they need to commit the Phantom Lancer, but not without the proper
Radiant's top
control and
tower's
team
in
fights.
bad shape.
And Simon got a good stun off.
Last top tower
That was
for
about it.
Radiant.
Lost the tier 3, not the end of the world yet. Astrom is quite far ahead, but he is able to move out. Focus on the melee racks with the wards, it seems. I'm just harassing the heroes. So these will regenerate, and they're gonna lose the racks, which is...
Someone's dropped out like a kid in school.
Cardi actually disconnects. Don't lose the racks, which is, as you would say in Germany, Glück Unglück. Luck while having bad luck, basically. As long as they keep these all 3 racks up, they should be fine. As I said, the Phantom Lancer can do worlds of... Yeah, just can inflict worlds of hurt. Just by his split push ability. And he's going meta, yeah. Just not picked up as Yasha. That Storm Spirit is huge though. He's got his ultimate orb on his way to his side, 1500 gold, already completed the Orchid Malevolence, so no surprise that he's the one zipping around like crazy and popping people left, right and center. And it's always going to be a liability, especially if they manage to find out Cardi. Lifestealer. He saw his Mjolnir. Still got his minus going, so he'll be able to keep up with the farm, and he's already got his damage items done, so... And he doesn't have to be the main damage... he isn't the only damage dealer. They all have a lot of magic damage coming out of the Storm Spirit, a lot of right-click damage coming out of him as well. They have the Van Monster with his skill set, and the other 2 heroes as well, who can put up some magical burst. And without BKBs inside of Snotbagz, those types of that type of damage will be able to do some work. I did see a pipe earlier. I'm not sure on what side it was. Oh yeah, Beastmaster got a pipe as well as the mechanism. So yeah, a pipe wouldn't be a bad choice for Snotbagz, to be honest, as I already got the Mac. Timbersaw looks like he's looking for a Bloodstone, but he's far, far from it. But Cody's back into the game. We will be on the way shortly. But yeah, the Alchemist, no more item progression coming out of him whatsoever. He's sitting on 2000 gold, so he might be one picking up a pipe.
All
He
right,
might
carry on.
want to start picking up his medallion. If you choose to go for that, or he can just go straight for some more tanky items, like a Heart of his own, or maybe even better, an Salt Cuirass, as we see. Or the poor guy disconnecting again. Is he looking for an Orchid? Seems so. He's got an Oblivion Staff. Because Blink Dagger, and that's an important core item on an Nyx Assassin, so that allows him to initiate if they manage to get the drop on someone. But the way the ballers are playing this right now is really, really smart. I mean, right now they're splitting up and farm because they achieved their objective down here. But once all the spells are locked and loaded again, with the Venomancer and the Lifestealer having his Infest up again, and the Roar, then they will be able to bunch up, group up as 5, and push down another tower. So the Phantom Lancer really needs to do his work and spam out illusions as much as you possibly can. Try and help them against that. See how this plays out though, where Snotbagz will be able to pull back. With the Phantom Lancer, once again, everything is possible. And if this goes late, I do give the advantage to Snotbagz. Because Beastmaster, of course, he's always gonna have the Roar, which is excellent. But apart from that, the Wild Axes do fall off. The Vision is always gonna be nice. The Roar, well, does fall off. The Inner Beast Aura is always gonna be very important, especially later on in the game for the Lifestealer. But apart from the Lifestealer himself, and maybe the Storm Spirit, there's gonna be little damage coming out from the borders in the late game. Compare that to the Timbersaw, to the Phantom Lancer and the Alchemist. Yep. Looks like I've got an extended pause here, and I'm not sure if I went into the right overlay for the entire time. But now on top right you should actually see what my actual name is. I keep forgetting to switch from the draft screen to that overlay. I'm running out of things to say. Basically went through all of the items. Melstrix, well... Oh, there's Cuddy back, thank god. Yeah, Benzo dying there to the lifesteal like that, that was really, really unfortunate.
I should thank you.
Shouldn't have let that happen. But with Katala down, not having the Fiend Script anyway.
Regeneration.
I think they really need to refocus their efforts. And refocus... yeah. Think through the team fight. Reserve the Fiend Script for lifesteal if he's going to town on someone, then counter-initiate with the Fiend Script and get him down quickly with the Banzud, with all the illusions. It's just gonna have to happen. Bane looking for 4 stuff, but he's having a hard time finding his gold. And he does see the Storm Spirit. He's low on mana. That isn't good. And they find a DD rune down here. He's gonna pick it up. Cardi is, alright. The extra burst damage coming out when he initiates. But there's still a lot of walls up. And this Dire Observer Ward just saw everything. They will see a rotation if Cuddy decides to go into there with this Vendetta. The Sentry Ward freshly placed as well, so it's not gonna time out anytime soon. So... just need to pick up a gem on Cuddy. And then you can just blink around on the cliff edges. Like this ward up here is also giving them a lot of vision. This one right here as well, they basically have the dominion over this jungle. And I think if they can get rid of the vision of the borders, I say just bring down Roshan with nothing but the wards. But Lifestealer once again infested in Storm Spirit, and this is gonna be the word go. To see Katala and nice deny coming out. And there's the counter initiation. Simon throws the stun. Benzo is going right on top of that, but the Storm Spirit able to jump away. Only illusions behind him. In the meantime, everyone else being roared down.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Rinse and repeat. Reset. Go for Roshan. Pick up the Timbersaur
Dire
and
might
Cardi in
wanna
the
mine their top
in the
tower.
backlines with his bands, but did what he could. 5-on-5 right now, unless he already has a lot of illusions up.
Roche
But
won't
even
be
then, they
stomping
might be
around no more
can be
thanks to
spammed
the
down
Dire.
quite quickly still. A full 5-on-5.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
Oh ho ho. Oh, shit is getting real, man. 35 minutes in, and a Lifestealer gets a Divine Rapier. Alright, this can be very bad or very, very good, depending on who you are rooting for and what they're gonna do with it. Because now that Lifestealer dies, that Phantom Lancer will be unstoppable if he manages to pick up the Rapier. That's an all or nothing item decision, and I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, they're way ahead. They can just, yeah, sitting at 16,000 gold advantage. Same for the XP, so they don't need to pick up something as chancy as this. And they can kill the lifesteal if he is getting too overconfident with his rage and his Aegis. Finds himself out of position, then they can pick him up, definitely. If they time the Fiend's Grip right.
Zip-zap. Looking for me?
Because looking for an opening, but Snotbagz playing very defensively right now, only having Panzer on the front lines taking the farm with the illusions. They're being choked out. Map control for Snotbagz, thing of the past. Yeah, you gotta be careful when using double walk to just create an illusion to get that army going. Because then it's still decent cooldown with 15 seconds. You then get initiated on, you won't have that. Simon, open wounds just to get him off, and Simon, there we are.
Trying to bust down Radiant's
Fiend's Grip, Vendetta, Beastmaster dies on the backline, the man is zipping around, Benzo going to work on the partner.
7 in a
Now
row.
shifting focus, where's the lifesteal? There he is. Storm Spirit, he has no mana, he has no life points. Cody going back. Will be able to find another ward if he so chooses. But there, Lifestealer. Rage wore off. He's being nightmared up. And there we are. Boom! Exactly what I was talking about. There's the rapier, they see it. Bensworth, gonna pick it up, and now this is a gift. A gift from the heavens for the Snotbagz. 4-man wipe, they lose nothing. They don't even lose the racks that Lifesteal almost broke down with a couple of swings. And yeah, as I said, they were able to control him. They were able to win the team fight on the back of some nice impales. And yeah, focus fire from Cardi and the Timbersaur just getting so much damage done across all the heroes as they're all bunched up down there in the bottom lane. This is a gift from the heavens, and now these illusions. Actually, does it go to the illusions? That's a question.
Dire's top tower.
I don't think so.
The drill.
I mean, it says it does, but I don't think the extra damage that you get is
Dire's
actually
got one last
going
top
onto the
tower.
illusions, because they only benefit from stats as far as I'm aware. But still, Benswood. If he gets on top of someone, they're gonna be dead. Not gonna be able to find the real Phantom Lancer most of the time. I mean, unless he double walks to get away and you get the dust on him and then ping him out like crazy. But if he's not using double walk, he's not going in this, and just is content to just right click that everyone down, and there, Lifestealer. He was up in the front lines and just got all his mana burned away. I mean, that's right on his base, you can go back and heal up, but if that happens somewhere else, if that happens to the Storm Spirit, he's got a high mana pool, so he might be able to get away, but If he jumps in, expends some of his mana, and then gets caught out, gets a couple of illusions banging away on him, he can't get back out again. And he's got high mana and regen, but it's not gonna help him as it just fuels the mana burn coming out of that Diffusal Blade. It's level 2 by the way, no, level 1. Might choose to upgrade that a little bit, as he now got his mantle done as well. So if Snotbagz throw this, I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't have been possible without the rapier switching hands, but with that now, it's basically the ball is throwing it away. I mean, I want to say it's nice that I've been right about the rapier being a chancy pickup, and that lifesteal doesn't necessarily have the capability to hold on to it, even with the Aegis and the Rage. But at the same time, it hurts. It hurts so much to see that happen. But then again, at the same time, it's super cool to see a game like this. I mean, he just one-shots the Rage creeps. And 2 shots the melee creeps. Maybe that was the tactic. Kills the creeps so fast that he can't build up the illusion army. But yeah. Illusions don't hit that hard, and the Phantom Match allows them to create some more illusions. Didn't see any there because RNG is a bitch, but yeah. Take a look at the gold graph. Yeah. About a 5,000 swing, 4,000, 5,000 swing after the team fight. Same for experience now, down at only 10,000 in favor of the balls. And the game goes later and later. And Phantom Lance is gonna be scarier and scarier. The Lifestealer not keeping up. He spent all his money on the freaking rapier. And that's gone. Take a look at the net worth. Yeah. The rapier's worth a lot of gold, and that switched hands and bends it 10,000, 13,000 gold ahead of the Lifestealer. It's not something you want to have happen. Saving Grace for Walls is the Tricore lineup. I mean, the Lifestealer as well as the Beastmaster and the Storm Spirit are sitting at ranks 2, 3, and 4 of the board. But then again, Demandin, Cardi, they can do a lot of work even without that much farm. I mean, they've got the core items. Timbersaw even got his Bloodstone. And if they manage to find those kills right now, I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot of charges, so if they manage to find a couple of kills to fuel that Bloodstone, then Timbersaw is gonna be much more scarier. He's able to throw down his nukes even more often than he is even now. But yeah, the Alchemist picked up a Halberd. Another good counter to the Lifestealer, and Beastmaster, he doesn't scale too well with farm in terms of right-click damage, as I mentioned earlier. So he's not necessarily a target for the Halberd. Storm Spirit maybe.
Guess what's happening to Dyer's
But
bottom tower?
most importantly, the Lifestealer. But there's gonna be jump onto the Mandan. Defensive Nightmare gonna keep him away, but
Dyer
what?
just couldn't save that bottom tower.
That is... wow, I'll go back to that, but nice roll on Katala, but the mech's gonna keep him up fighting Banzo. Now going to town, picks up the Lifestealer so fast, and now they're on the hunt. Cardi, stun on Vehicles. Venomancer on the sidelines throws out the Poison Nova.
That's
But
do something about that.
Banzo is just on fire.
6 in a row.
Picks up the Venomancer, not able to teleport out in time. He was just losing health so freaking
Guess what's
fast to
happening to
just
Dyer's bottom tower?
one Phantom Lancer with the Rapier. 4 for 2 is the trade in the very end.
Bottom tower's getting the business.
But yeah, so a really interesting interaction down there. The Bane threw out the Defensive Nightmare onto Timbersaw,
Dyer's mid tower won't
but the
last
Netherwart
long
that was right here basically kept throwing out his attacks basically. I've never seen that
Dire
before.
weren't partial to that mid tower.
Apparently the nightmare with the damage ticks coming out triggers
Dire's mid towers haven't
the Pugna Netherward.
difficulties. The Dire went and fortified.
I didn't know that. As I said, I've never seen that before. Yeah, look at that
Dire's
tower
mid
melt just to the
tower
right
plan
clicks.
was longer. Dire's mid towers.
It's gonna be Rax. Lifesteal doesn't have buyback. He built a Skull Basher, but
Dire's mid rags ain't doing so hot. Dire's
wait, this is
mid
going?
rags
Yeah, it's
ain't
gonna back
around
off.
no more.
And yeah, we see the gold graph. Take in a turn, up to the top, and look at this! Just the illusions banging away at the tier 3 bottom. It's just a Phantom Lancer. So, yeah, as I said, the game goes late, Phantom Lancer gets huge. Even huger than he would be. I mean, he's got his butterfly, for God's sake. How do you deal with these illusions? Lifesteal didn't opt to build an MKB with the Javelin that he had, instead he got the Skull Basher. It's not gonna help him against the army. Storm Spirit, his magic damage is gonna fall off a little bit. In general. And if he needs to commit to these illusions, then it's not gonna help him. Roshan might be a way for them to get back into this game, but I'm not quite sure if it's enough. They will take this, but Snotbagz knows up Cuddy. There's to jump in from Vegas, but jumps back out again. And just by being there for half a second, takes down half of himself. There, oh, there we see an engagement. Aegis triggered immediately. Fans are just... That's a dream of a carry. Lifesteal just sitting there, raged up, bagging away with the lifesteal that he has. And Benzo doesn't care. It's Phantom Lancer. Not even that tanky. This stage in the game, for lifesteal to have no effect whatsoever against him. They lost the Timbersaw again and the Bane, but those are not the most important heroes. I mean, the Bane used his Fiend Script probably on the lifestealer, didn't quite catch that part, but so he did his job. Storm Spirit just suiciding into that. He's silenced up. He's gonna die. Sama just doing the same thing, really.
The Dire gave up
If we wanted to commit to him, he would have done that too. But instead, going for the objectives. One rax down, range rax down.
Dire's bottom rags ain't in a happy place.
And wouldn't surprise me at all if the GGs would come out pretty damn soon.
To the Dire's bottom barracks.
As we see the gold graph approaching that 0 line. As well as the experience graphs, and they're just gonna go for the GG push.
Dire's
With the Mega
mid
Creeps
tower
coming in
is
from the
a
mid.
fail.
And the Rapier on the Phantom Lancer.
Hope the Dire weren't partial to that mid tower. Dire's mid towers having technical.
That's a tier 4
Dire's
down.
mid-towers,
Absolutely nothing the
now.
borders can do now.
The Dire's
Gonna be the GG.
whoop. That's a win for the
Very nice game. Very nice game. It had a charm, right? A certain charm to it. Yeah. The man then hits the nail on the head. That rapier. It all came down to that. Alright. We'll come back to the game while we're in the draft of game number 2. In the meantime, go back for some music. And game 2 will begin shortly.